Today on the Riff, Jeremy and Justin sit down to discuss waffles, hot dogs, and bananas. It'll make sense if you listen. Maybe. We hope today is helpful and hopeful. Thanks for listening.
Well, good to have our Riff listeners with us today. My name is Jeremy, and I'm with Justin. Justin, how are you today?
So good.
Very good to have you, and very good to have you as part of our day today. We are excited because today we're going to talk about something that is going to be the first time we brought it up on this show. It's kind of newer. This thing that's coming up. It's called Savannah Banana Ball. Are you familiar? You're familiar. We've talked about this at staff. So
we have talked.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. Well, one, let me explain Savannah Ball. Banana Ball. So the Savannah Bananas is this, some people talk about them as the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. It's this entertainment industry based in Savannah, Georgia. Yellow Tux Jesse is a fantastic Instagram follow. We may, if we remember, I'm not sure that we remember all these things, but we may drop that in the show notes.
I would guarantee it unless it's not there.
Yeah. So if it's there, it's because we remember.
Just click on that link.
Yellow Tux Jesse on Instagram. Very fun though. And what he did is he bought a minor league baseball franchise and and then he studied Disney and Barnum and really some of the legends of entertainment. And he looked at this as how do we engage people at a different level than most minor league baseball or baseball franchises are engaging people. And what's created has been the Savannah Bananas. And they are a dancing, juggling, entertaining, trying new things all the time type of traveling circus. And I say that in high regards because I know, Justin, you are a circus family.
Yeah. And that, I didn't take offense to that.
No umbrage to that?
No, I feel like that was classy.
Yeah. Because he wears a tux.
Yes.
And that's what makes him a circus, not a traveling carnival.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's the sequins, the tux, all those kind of things that make the difference. So anyway, it's fantastic to watch. Matter of fact, they've just announced they're doing this NFL stadium tour. They just finished a Major League Baseball tour. They were selling out Major League Baseball stadiums at a much higher clip than Major League Baseball teams were selling out Major League Baseball stadiums. And so they're taking the baseball world by storm. So I want to talk about that. We spent some time at staff meeting a little bit ago talking about the Bananas, what we could kind of learn from them. And some of you are saying, why did I download a podcast today and we're going to talk about minor league baseball? I think it might be worth your listen. So first, Justin, how long you been familiar with the Savannah Bananas?
A couple years. What's crazy is I literally had a conversation with Jamie the week leading up to All Staff about Banana Ball.
Stop it.
Swear to you.
Was it a positive conversation or a negative
conversation?
You liked them?
Love it.
Okay.
I love
what do you like about them?
I love every aspect of it.
Really?
I do. Here, I'm not a huge baseball guy. I like sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the throwing of the ball and the hitting of it. And
this is the science.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. But I've never, I'll watch postseason MLB.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah.
World Series, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I share that same sense of apathy.
Yeah. When I go to a baseball stadium, I'm like, I'm in it. I like it.
Are you more for the fairs? The baseball fair?
I like the hot dogs.
Yeah. Do you ever go on Thursdays at Springfield Cardinals? And this is not a paid promo. We're open to it.
That'll be the only days I go on.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I set myself up. I'm like, I bet I could do 15 hot dogs. If
you were standing right next to Joey Chestnut at a hot dog table, and we're talking you're more of a sprinter in the hot dog eatery, right?
Yeah, I'm not really distance.
But like 6, you can take down 6 quickly.
Fast.
Do you like to dip your buns in water?
I don't even need my buns to be moist.
But they get there, don't they?
They do.
They get there. So stupid.
Oh man, no. But my record is 11. So I've eaten 11 hot dogs.
Stop it.
At the Springfield
In one
Cardinals.
setting?
At the Springfield Cardinals. It took 9 innings.
No
and
way.
it was actually a North Point event. So
11
yeah.
hot dogs.
Yeah. But
Buns and all.
I thought I could do 15.
What do you do? You put condiments? Are you like a...
ketchup dip. So I do a pile of ketchup.
Yeah.
And then it's a dip, eat,
Yeah.
dip, eat, hot dog gone.
Wow.
Yeah. And I did that.
11.
Yeah, I paced myself. I think I overdid it because I did about 3 or 4. I did about 3 or 4 in the first inning. So that's where I made the mistake. If I could hit 2 per inning, I mean that gets if they go extra innings too.
Okay.
Right? If they did 1 extra inning and I did 2, you're getting up to 20. Yeah. That's past my 15. I only made it to 11. I capped out about 6th inning. I went too quick.
So, okay, and I know this, we might get back to our lesson, but I'm more fascinated with this. Let's just say we have a goal and you're at a baseball game and you can leave this seat in either 24 hours or 24 hot dogs. Which comes first?
24 hot dogs.
You think you can nail 24 hot dogs?
I think I could do it.
Really?
In 24 hours, yeah. I'll throw up in the middle of it for sure.
You throw up, you start over.
Oh, man.
I forgot to tell you that.
Impossible for me then.
Waffle House is a very similar deal. 24 waffles or 24 hours.
Oh, I almost threw up right now.
I would do that. And listen,
shocker.
I know. I wouldn't do it for free. But like if I was raising $20 or something for the Dream Center.
$20?
Or something. I would for the right amount of money for the Dream Center or for me.
Riff listeners, right
get
now,
together.
You are hearing something that I just
for $24,000. For $24,000.
You started at $20.
I said or something. For $24,000 for the Dream Center.
Okay.
I would do 24 waffles or 24 hours.
And
I'm on record.
And we will record it.
24,000 has to be ready to be given to the Dream Center. I would do that for the kids. Yeah, I would. And I think, honestly, I'd be out of there in less than a work day.
This is what you're going to do if you're listening and you're like, I got $24,000 and I want to see this. You're going to email Justin G at northpointchurch.tv.
You have never given up your personal information.
That's it right there. Justin G at northpointchurch.tv. You're going to email me. You're going to say, I have it and I'm ready to roll. Let's support the DC.
We will document
it. I will make sure that the creative team records you for 24 hours.
Yeah.
We will put that on a speed loop so you can watch this video in under
We can
30
live stream it
seconds.
too.
We could live stream it.
Yeah.
We will live stream it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
$24,000.
$24,000.
24 waffles.
It's a 24 waffle or 24 hour challenge.
Okay. What I would like to do though is I would like to see you do the 24 hot dog challenge.
I know.
So if you wouldn't do it for the kids? Not for the Dream Center?
No, we got 24K coming in from you.
How committed are you to dry buns?
I
allow them to get moist for the kid, for the donation. For the donation. This will be the first episode ever edited.
We'll have to edit it, man. We're going to have to edit this.
Would you do 24 hot dogs in 24 hours from outside the entrance of Hammond's?
Are we talking buns as well? Or just hot
No, it's
dogs?
buns.
Buns as well?
Yeah. And you have the option of ketchup. That's not a mandatory.
I'd have to use ketchup.
Yeah.
But if I throw up, I'm out. That's the thing.
Yeah, if you throw up, you're not out, you start over. You can still do it. Aren't you the guy that did a Spartan race?
Yeah, that's different though. I think that's a little different.
Push your body.
That's good.
Your mind is more powerful than you think, Justin.
All right. I feel like if we get the Waffle House complete,
okay,
that will inspire me.
If someone wants to double down though at the same time,
if they want to go 48,
I'll
do hot dogs. You do waffles.
I like that.
Justin G.
I'm doing it from inside the confines of a Waffle House. I'm going to do it in the booth the closest to the bathroom. I'm just telling you.
I would like to do it in Hammond's.
In Hammond's?
Just be me myself right in the middle of Hammond's. Just
recording.
some hot dogs. 24
from
hot
the
dogs.
pitching man?
Nope, just in the stands.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to need a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a standing thing.
And we can watch movies. Well, not we. I wouldn't be there. I'd be in a Waffle House. But
right.
Okay. I like that.
All right. There it is. What were we
talking about? Do you think
about?
we'll get someone who says, no, I'm doing that?
No. No. But if we do, can't wait. And even if they've got 12,000, 10,000, I feel like you would do it, right?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I would do 1,000 per waffle. I'd do that. So,
all right. If you're interested in negotiating, email me as well.
Yeah. Justin
we'll raise some money.
NorthPointChurch.tv.
We'll raise some
Matter of
money
fact,
for the DC.
I set our email address to somebody. Not ours, like we share it, but mine. And they're like, TV I'm like, as in television. And they're like, that's an odd one. And I was like, oh, that's hurtful. But anyway, what were we talking about? Because I think we just got inspired right there.
Yeah.
I think that's back to it's kind of charismatic roots that I grew up. I have 4 generations of charismatic pastors that preceded me. And they would have services that look a lot like this particular episode of the Riff. You'd start with going one direction, but you'd hold it loosely. Hold it loosely.
We're at 10 minutes though. We got time. We're talking about banana ball.
Oh yes, banana ball.
Yeah.
You
asked me what did I like. What did I like about it?
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. You were saying you don't like baseball as much.
Oh yeah, I don't.
And then we started talking about food. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't like baseball. And what the Bananas have done is they've made it
Savannah ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
They've made it intriguing
Chiquita.
to me where I'm like, I want to read about this. I would be very interested in going to a game. I really would. Because every time I go to a game.
In Kansas City in May? Because they're coming.
Are they really?
Yeah, 6 months.
For real?
Yeah, for real. I looked it up yesterday.
Yeah. I'm interested in going. And I also feel like the girls would like it. Every time we go to a baseball game with the girls, they're like, let's go. They're not into it, right?
Yeah.
So there's an element to it. Here's what I love about it. And you brought this up, and I thought this was a really strong point that I walked away with. I'm like, yeah, it's good. They are still playing baseball.
Yeah.
So it's not like they are coming up with this brand new thing that's novel and we hate baseball. And if you're the Yankees or the Sox, how stupid is that?
Right,
you
right,
baseball purists. No, it's like we're still playing baseball. We're just doing it in a different way that attracts a different person. We're not trying to change what is meaningful to you. We're not. We're just trying to make it maybe meaningful to others. And you brought that up in the context of church. And I thought, yes, what a great message.
Well,
so walk through that.
A few things that like Savannah Banana Ball does. They have a commitment that they're going to try 10 to 15 new things every single game. So some of these work, and their goal is that every couple weeks, one of the new things that they tried sticks. So they have dancing, synchronized pitching. They have a very unique and fun way of ending the game. If the game goes into extra innings, they only have the pitcher, the catcher, and one fielder. You can go wherever you want. And if it goes into a second extra inning, it's just the pitcher and the catcher. So if a guy hits a ground ball to third base, it actually goes to the wall, and you watch the pitcher just haul and tail all the way to the wall, to the fence, trying to get the ball and throw it in. So it's fun, it's fascinating. So they try new things, and they also aren't afraid of failure. Like, for example, one of the things they say they tried is a human piñata. And, they had their mascot dress up and as a piñata and have all the kids come down with bats and hit the piñata, and he throws candy at the kids. But kids were hitting each other with bats. The mascot got hurt. And so they try things that they don't do again. But they've landed on really cool things like throwing out the banana as the first pitch, having the baby banana of the game. And so the whole environment is unique, and it's because they want to do new things, so that they're not creating a new product, they're creating a fresh product with new things. And that's kind of the whole impact of, when it comes to church, North Point was planted, and this is before me, North Point was planted from the very beginning of not let's do something new, but let's do something fresh. Now, we got to do a lot of new things in order to do something we really value in a fresh way. And that's creating an experience for people to encounter Jesus. So let's create the environment. People experience Jesus. This is what we want to do. That's not new. That's called church. But let's do a bunch of new things so that we can have a fresh take on this mission. And so at North Point, what I was telling the team is, man, we're like 21 years old now. We aren't new. We're not fresh. We're crusty and old. And so we can't do the things that were new and fresh 21 years ago if we are doing them because we think those are cool methods. But at the same time, we don't want to get so addicted to new that we throw out the mission, which is we're a church. We're here to create an environment for people to experience Jesus. So we don't want to get so new that we start playing Rubik's Cube with mission. What we want to do is say, okay, what are brand new, fresh things we can try right now that actually help more people engage with this mission we're so in love with? And so whether that is, something that's happening in our programs at the Dream Center, in the service, different ways to engage people, different ways for people to say yes to Jesus, all sorts of different things. The fact that they do say yes to Jesus is our goal. So, yeah. So that's what we walked through. And I think it's important that we don't want to be this angsty or arrogant either way group of people that think, man, how we do church is awesome. It's why we do church is awesome. And that's true for every other Jesus-centered church, right? The why is there. How we do it must be fresh, not because it's cool, but because we need to see, are we engaging people? So, groups, my parents' generation, what they needed to engage in groups is a bulletin. If they saw it in the bulletin, they're like, yes, please, I'm in. What does it look like to engage people in community nowadays? Is it resources? Is it topical classes? Is it Book of the Bible gatherings, JXP, different things? So that's what we're challenging the team. Look for new things, look for fresh things.
It's great, and I think it's applicable to so many other elements of life as well.
Yeah.
Right. You just don't look at church, but when we were talking, I think that it's also something that you could apply to marriage, to parenting. Again, not throwing out the essence of what those are,
right?
But just because your parents did it this way, just because your grandparents did it this way, just because, okay, we can learn from that. Absolutely, let's learn and grow from it, but we don't have to replicate it the exact same way. And if we do, we probably miss out on something. And hopefully we do fail at things. I brought this up last week of that's what makes me want to
the rope climb
going is, I failed at something. There's something that defeated me because I'm trying something new. Great, awesome. Let's get better at it. So I think that type of mentality is so needed. And here's the thing that bothered me so much about that staff meeting.
Talk to me.
We're at North Point. I think that I would consider this has been the most healthy I've seen North Point be in the time that I've been here. So there's this instant reflex that's like, no, don't change that. Don't change that. But I also know if we don't change that, I will probably not be here very long. Cause I'm I don't want to be some part of something that's just, it's healthy. And it is, it's awesome. I want to be part of something that's vibrant and alive. And in order to do that, it's got to get messy. It'd be the same thing with my marriage. I want it to be healthy. Yes. But if it's vanilla, same thing. Well, we found something that works. So here's the next 30 years. I'm I think there's more, babe.
Yeah.
I think there's more life and there's vibrancy that we're probably missing out. And it's probably going to cause us to cry a little bit together, right? So that's what excites me and also makes me a little bit nervous where I'm I hope this isn't just something we talk about. Yeah. Because it's it is. It's very healthy and we see a lot of great things at all of the campuses and at the Dream Center and the staff is awesome and the volunteers are great. And it's just all of these things are so good that lulls you to sleep and where it's it's 9 innings. This is how it's out.
And that's what people, the general consensus, outside, you got baseball purists, but outside of baseball purists, and Andy Thornton at the Dream Center campus, he is a baseball purist. He was actually, as soon as I started talking about Savannah Bananas, he's boo, I don't like them. That's not even baseball.
So Andy T.
But it is baseball. And outside of baseball purists, this next generation was saying it's too long, it's too predictable, it's meaningless. I don't have to watch it until the playoffs. Yeah. Some of the things I love sports. I'm a big baseball card collector and I don't watch one baseball game all year long because it's not interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so even though I'm invested in how players do, I'd rather just see it, the box score the next day.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing is if we translate that to church, the next generation, some of the purists who love church, we don't have to change anything North Point's doing because you're already there. You're like, not that everyone's already a raving fan, but for the things that work for you, you don't need them to change because by definition, they work for you. But for the people, for whatever reason, they're like, I need something beyond a Tuesday night class. I need something beyond a 70-minute service. I need something beyond a 3 songs that encourage my heart. Like, what you got to think through is, what are some other avenues that we need to connect with people who, for whatever reason, think they're dismissing baseball, but they would actually enjoy baseball? What they're really dismissing are the methods. And for us, it's Jesus. People feel like they've experienced Jesus because they've experienced church, and it's just not one and the same. And what we want to do is always be thinking, who's not yet convinced? The church is one of the only organizations that exists for the people who aren't yet part of it, right? And so what we have to think about that at North Point, we're not here to guard how we do things.
Say that one more time.
We're not here to guard how we do things.
No, before that.
The church is one of the only organizations out there that exists for the people who do not yet belong to it, who are not yet part of it. That's why we exist. And so part of it is be like, this is how we do church. If you like how we do church, come. If you don't, great. It's not about that. And sometimes we think that. We're like, hey, if you don't like how we do it, forget you, right? No. It's, if you don't like how we do it and you're already connected to Jesus, awesome. There's probably another way that works for you, and it shouldn't be angsty. It should be like, I'm glad it works for you. But if you don't know Jesus and you don't like how we do it, but you might be open to, and the phrase that Preston's been getting in my brain, spiritually open yet uninvolved? Unengaged. Spiritually. Now some people aren't spiritually open. And so there's nothing we can do to present Jesus. They're open. But we just believe there's a chunk of people who are spiritually open yet unengaged. And if they are not engaged because of methods, but if we tweak methods, but guard the mission and the message of Jesus. So I think this is going to impact, we've even been talking about this morning. We've been talking outside of this. What does that look like for our message series? Instead of being like, some of the things that make North Point, if we do this next year, some of the things that we're talking about of not experimenting, but going down the direction because we believe it's missional, but then we're like, man, that changes our methods. Mm-hmm. That we are making a commitment to say, we're totally fine with changing our methods and letting people say, wait a second, I thought this was North Point. We don't do it that way. That's all right. As long as what we're really doing is creating a safe place for people to find and follow Jesus and guarding the message of Jesus. Parenting, that's what you mentioned, parenting, and that really, I think, is a part of this whole Savannah banana thing, because most of us start out parenting as a default repetition of what we experienced.
100%.
How do we change that?
Jamie and I have led multiple groups that are parenting groups, and one of the biggest things that comes up in those groups is discipline. That's one of the hottest topics. And I would say 99.9999999% of everyone in the room and every group that we've done disciplines their child the way that they were disciplined. And do
they feel fired up about it?
No, because it doesn't work.
Right.
And that's the question that we always ask. And we're never there to like judge the disciplining process that parent is going through, because they are doing their best. We're doing our best. Yep. We don't have the answers. We're just in here to ask questions.
It's not
together.
Blaming, it's naming.
But the question is always, how is that working for you? How's that working? Right. That's just a very curious, honest question. And usually the answer is it doesn't, or it's not great, or I have to do this over and over and over, which is not really discipline. Like discipline should be an evolving element that changes with the child. It shouldn't be the same thing every single time for every single action. That's not discipline. That's a rigid, fundamental upbringing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So the thing with parenting is the same thing with church, and it's the same thing with baseball. What I hope I don't do with parenting with James, and what I hope that the church doesn't do, what North Point doesn't do, is get ourselves into a space that we believe that we're changing things, but it's not. It's just kind of like really? Like with MLB, I'm like, the pitch clock, that's your like revolutionary idea? Like I've never like yelled upstairs and been like, girls, you gotta watch this game. They've only got 24 seconds to pitch. Like, so what am I doing with parenting that feels like it's revolutionary, but it's really the same thing I'm doing? Same thing with church, right? Like when we talk about these things, is it just this pseudo thing that we're trying to like, well, now it's different. It's like, no, it's not. It's the same thing. But I'm like, hey, girls, they're throwing a banana.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Yeah, and there's a baby and there's a guy on stilts. Okay, we're coming down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's the thing. So within parenting, it's like, well, now I only spank them twice a week. It's like, what if you didn't hit them at all? For real. And again, I'm not judge. I'm just asking the question, like, what is something that is so removed from what you're doing that you're still wanting to bring the child up and you're still wanting them to understand what discipline is, but it looks so different that you and the child both are like, wait, what? It changes your mind. It changes everything. So I think that's a big thing when you're talking about those elements that they're doing, is that it's not these small tweaks. And when you talk about 10 to 15 things that they're trying, like they're doing that for a reason, because they know if they try that one thing, it'll probably be small. Like, but 10 small things end up being pretty big. So, yeah.
Well, if you think of the purpose of discipline is regarding that. We want our kids to be able to be responsible.
Yes.
We want them to understand our decisions make a big impact and all these kind of things. So we're not saying don't discipline, but we're saying, hey, some of the methods by which you're doing it might not be the best. And I was one very traditional, meaning I do what I've seen, what I've been experienced, and I would look back at our experience where it was very firm, very good parents, but when discipline came, it was very shameful that I feel, and we've had to have a conversation with our kids looking back, because I would resort to, when push came to shove, I'd be loud and threatening, and I'd spank at times. And then I'm like, I never felt at the end of the day, I feel like they just got a heart of Jesus right there. And I always felt like, why is that weird? Because I really want them to have, and I didn't know better tools or methods. And again, not trying to be judging on other people's, I just know I was confident in the way I did it. Well, no, I was controlling in the way I did it, and pretty confident at the end of the time, man, there's got to be different ways. Mm-hmm. So how do you explore the different methods that will actually serve your mission better? Yeah, and I know this isn't a message on parenting, but one of the verses that I always hated is this verse that said, spare the rod and spoil the child, right? And because I felt like, well, that's like God saying, spank your kids, man, beat your kids, whatever you got to do. But the rod was a shepherding tool. It's a guide a sheep. It wasn't this like the tool shed, get out the weapon to beat your kids. That's the rod. It's what the principle is saying is direct your kids or you spoil your kids. In American interpretation in the last 100 years, we've been like, rod, yeah, that's what you beat your kids with. If you spare that rod, you're going to spoil your child. It's like, no. The scripture says direct them, guide them, or you spoil them. So maybe you don't need a rod. But what I'm saying is that's an example of all the takeaways of what is it we want to guard? What is the mission? And then how do we get there? Let's explore. Let's go on a journey. Savannah Bananas. They'll teach you about parenting more than any other organization out there.
When somebody gets defensive on how they do it, that's when we always raise alarms in those groups. This is how I do it.
Because you found something that they're like,
stop. Hey, just hold on. Like, feel that passion of like, you're passionate about how you're doing it. You're not passionate about what, like the why. Like, just let go of the method. Let go of the method. Like good. For just a moment. And here's the sucky part of this. Your method might be right.
Yeah.
For real. It could be exactly what's needed for every child, or it could be what's needed for your child. Absolutely. But when you get passionate about the how, I'm like, well, I think your passion's maybe a little bit misdirected.
What method not mission, but what method that we have used and or maybe using currently to make our mission happen. What method that we remove at North Point would get most people mad?
Yeah.
Anything come to your mind? I'm just trying to think. It'd be a fun staff game.
It would be.
What method, if we took it away right now, would make staff would make me mad? I'm wondering about me. What method, if we took away right now, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we're talking about with changing up some message elements and some series elements, like one of the things I said when you and I were talking is I think that would cause the team lead room to be like, whoa, what? Yeah. And I think that's when I think we're onto something. And I'm not saying we should do it, but I think we're probably thinking the right thoughts.
Yeah.
Where it's not like we're going to add 24 seconds to the clock, and everybody's like, "Man, good idea."
Yeah.
Like, what? That's not a good idea.
Yeah. I'll change the game.
Like, hey, we're not going to use mitts. They'd be like, wait, what? Like, just there. All right, let's talk.
I'd watch, especially the catcher. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
So is it $24,000?
24K. It's 24K.
24K is Waffles.
You can double that up to 48.
24 waffles a day
24.
keeps the doctor away.
But what we're really wanting to see, $24,000 committed in full. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're saying, Jeremy, we're going to
I'll eat my way there. I'll eat my way to a better life for others.
I got a couple questions, and then we can end.
Yeah. And then 48,000 goes
48. We can double it up.
Because 24 also goes 24 hot dogs, not little smokies.
No, straight up hots. And I'm not brats, hots. Just hot dogs.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. But I'm glad you clarified.
I don't like how the brat.
And I am doing waffles from Waffle House. 24. Yep.
So here are my questions, and then we'll be done. Yep. For this person that is going to donate $24,000, first off, thank you. I just want to say that your generosity impacts lives. It's making a difference. And the Dream Center is going to be $24,000 more ahead than they were at this point last year. Yep. Just because of your generosity. Thank you.
24,000 more for the Dream Center, 24 pounds more for Jeremy.
That's right. Here's my questions. Can you use syrup?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even, the kids aren't worth it if I can't do syrup. Like syrup is that's a mission, not a method.
Are you a butter guy? Is there butter involved as well?
Sure. I mean, I think that's one of those, I just wing it.
Okay.
Feel if I need a little help getting it down.
Two more clarifying questions for the person that's giving, because I think these will really seal the deal for them. As far as drinks go, is it water only? Is it milk? Well, it's not milk. You can't drink. I mean,
don't do that. Don't do that. I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah, don't do that. What are you going to be drinking during this? And is there a limit to that?
I mean, I would think it doesn't help me to drink more.
I don't think so.
I don't think there should be a limit. What I would like to do is nurse coffee all day long. And they are Coke serving products. I think depends on the time of day. Okay. I don't drink Coke. Yeah.
And then our last question would be, if we're going to tune into the live stream, which I would think dozens of people will see this.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing in between waffles?
Stretching. Stretching. I might just go. I might treat it as a sprint. Like just boom. Just like I might try and see how many I can knock out in the first hour. I think it would be a fun challenge that I can't use the restroom the whole time.
We can add. Listen, myself and the donor will come up with the rules.
Okay.
All
right. And Justin G at NorthPointChurch.tv.
I'm just adding this in and then we're off. It doesn't have to be a single donor. It can be you and a couple friends.
But it does have to be $24,000.
It has to be $24,000. But if you can get a couple of friends and you can get $24,000 collected, I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah. So Elon Musk, if you've been listening and waiting for your time to say, hey, I want to make an impact at the Dream Center, this is your chance. So
he would love this.
He does love this.
I knew it.
Yeah. So, all right. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Riff. Man, so many great things we talked about today. So, have a great one. And maybe we'll have another one next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Riff. We'll have a brand new episode every week, wherever you find podcasts.